Hey guys, welcome to my new movie review for The Bike Riders. Now, straight off the bat, I just want to say this really quickly. This movie is based on the book. It's fully based on the book. Before I went to see this movie this morning, two things. I watched the trailer, and at the beginning of the trailer, I'm like, ooh, this doesn't look very interesting. And then I kept watching the trailer, and it got better. So just a heads up on that. And also I watched maybe a 20-minute behind the scenes of this movie. And so the director, before he started filming this movie, he knew the movie in his head in the entirety. And so as they were filming the movie, he said on several occasions that if they were to change any scene or go a different direction or make tweaks and stuff like that to the dialogue or the acting in the scene, he said, don't worry about it because I'll just bring us back to where the movie was in his mind. So he really had it all figured out. I want to talk to you a little bit about this for a second. It's kind of bad. This is a good movie. I really thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Okay, it is good and I really thoroughly enjoyed it. One element of this movie, in my personal humble opinion, is I think this movie could have had at least, that I can think about off the top of my head, at least half an hour completely taken off the end of it. Because I felt like the end of this movie slowed right down. Right down. And obviously that's not really a good thing, because it just kind of, it felt like it was too long, because this is what I want to say to sort of water that down a little bit. There's things that happen in this movie towards the end of it that keep us as audience members still entertained, and there's just scenes in it that are very sort of not intimate, but just slower than other scenes in the film. And I feel like that's what really brought the level of this movie down, and it really slowed the pace to the point where I was like, oh, this is like I'm kind of tapping out right now. But then it kind of brings it back up a little bit towards the end, especially with what happens to other characters. I'm going to talk about a scene. And when I don't do spoilers, so relax, there's no spoilers. But I'm going to talk about something. And when you see the movie, if you see the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. And those of you who haven't seen the movie, and you're going to see it after you watch this review because of my thoughts on this movie, this is what I'm talking about. The red dress, bottom of the staircase scene. Okay? Now, when you see it, you'll be like, that's what he was talking about. I have it's been very far and few, graciously and thankfully, of me watching films that I have ever been so sick to my stomach and so nervous about something happening and really like, oh, please don't happen. Don't let that happen. No, don't go there. Don't let that happen. Please don't go there. It was really well done. Another scene that I want to talk about, I kid you not in any way, shape or form, guys, that just before I move on, that scene really gets the heart racing. Really gets the heart racing. The reason why it gets the heart racing so intensely is because of the way that they structured out the editing in that movie, in The Bike Riders. The way they structured out the cut takes, if you actually look at it from an editorial perspective, an editor's perspective, you'll understand that it was shot completely, totally separately, but they glued it together in a timely manner that really made the sequencing like just outstanding. And it's obviously what ended up happening with, you know, the red dress scene got us as audience members on the edge of our seat because of the sequence that was about to take place, and it was really well executed. And speaking of well executed, I want to talk about, it's called a reverse cut. Okay, it's called a reverse cut. Now, I've actually done a full movie review on Tenet. I did my movie review, and then when I finished my movie review, I did the whole movie review, and I literally intentionally rewound the entire thing at the end of the review. So it sounded like I was like, now, this doesn't have any audio. It doesn't have any audio. It doesn't not have audio, but I'll explain something to you. Not right at the beginning of the film, but in the beginning moments of the film, as they're explaining a character's situation. Okay, she's explaining a character's situation, and what he does with the shovel. Now, again, no spoilers. I'm not going to spoil anything, but what he does with the shovel. Okay. A guy is about to do something with the shovel, and he's bringing it down, okay? And he's about to do something bad in a situation. Again, I'm not spoiling anything. How they made that look. Now, if you actually watch that scene, you'll understand that it literally, this is cinematic genius. Now, they might not have done it like this, but this is how they would have done it to make it look as real as possible. What they would have done is they would have got the shovel to where they needed it in the scene, right? And as fast as it looked like it came down, they would have pulled it back up. And then they would have reversed the footage so it looks like it's going down as hard as it was. The reason why I say that is because I know this is super random. However, this is the same technique they did back in this movie. If you've ever seen the movie Home Alone, yes, this one with Macaulay Culkin, yes, that one. If you've ever seen this one, I'm gonna show the image now over the top of me. Yeah, see this? Okay, that right there is actually rewound footage. Okay, so what they did is they got the car still, right? They got Macaulay's face there, they got the car still, and then they just reversed the car. But what they do is, it's like literally 3 seconds worth of footage, if that. What they do is in post-production, they rewind it, so it looks like the car's going forward and not backwards. So clever, and that, I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that's what he did with the shovel. Now, I could be wrong, but I think I'm right about that. Really, really clever editing. Guys, this movie it's not a rewatchable movie. Like, you could rewatch it, but I guess it's rewatchable in a sense of how passionate you are about bikies. And it's a really eye-opening story. The character chemistry development in this movie is impeccable. It's absolutely impeccable. There are, in my opinion, there's so many laugh out loud moments. Now, they're not hilarious. Like, you're not like cracking up laughing because of, oh my gosh, like, belly laughter moments. It's not like that at all. However, there were several elements and scenes in this movie, for me personally, that made me legitimately laugh out loud because of real subtleties and subtle lines that were said and the execution of those lines, and it was so funny. Like, they were really, really funny. Again, they're not burst out loud moments, but they were funny. They were really well executed. Guys, in my personal humble opinion, this is a really good movie. Again, like I said at the start of this movie review, I think that they could have easily shaved half an hour off, because the last act, it just slowed down. And there were moments in it. That made it slow down. That it's like, you could have done without that. However, they didn't, and they didn't slow it down. And guys, honestly, if you know anyone who's a fan of bikies or that sort of thing, I think that they will really enjoy this movie. Like, I really feel like they will. I think that you'll walk out of the cinema being like, wow, that was a good film. Honestly, it's not a movie. I wouldn't even call this a sexist movie, because it's not a movie for just guys, because it's not. Like, there was actually quite a few women in the auditorium that I was sitting in, and everyone seemed to enjoy it. Like, honestly, this is a pretty good film. Honestly, to my surprise, like, I wasn't gonna go and see this at all, but it was the only thing that looked decent out that it was actually English. The other movies that were out, it was a Hindi movie and a Asian movie, I think, something like that. And it would have had subtitles, and I just wasn't down for it. So I'm actually glad that I saw this movie, because it wasn't a dumpster fire, and it had a lot of redeeming elements for a bikey movie. I really enjoyed this movie, guys. In my personal opinion, like I said, if you like anything to do with bikies in any way, shape, or form, and that element of it, go and check out the Bike Riders, because I think you're really going to like it. And if you've read the book, I have no idea whatsoever in any way, shape, or form if it's anywhere close to the book, but it's based on the book. So it might be word for word, it might be picture for picture, it might be, do you know what I mean? It might be. I don't know. I don't read books, but this is based on the book, and so if it's based on the book, it's probably got a lot to do with it. Guys, I really appreciate your time. That is my thoughts on the Bike Riders. I hope if you do get a chance to watch this movie, leave your thoughts in the comments section below. I'd love to hear them. I'd love to know your feedback and see what your thoughts are. Did you think that it needed half an hour shaved off to this movie? Did you think the length of this movie was perfect as it was? What are your thoughts? What did you think about the character chemistry? Did you like it as much as I did? And what did you think about the main characters, their expression, and just how it all came together, and definitely how it ended? Again, no spoilers. You guys are amazing. I really appreciate it. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for listening to my thoughts on the Bike Riders. And until my next review, which I think is Twisters. I think it's Twisters. So yeah, stick around for that, and I'll see you next week. Take care, guys. God bless. See you.